What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another Awesomoto vlog. Today's going to be a super quick vlog talking about doing a reservoir change for the power steering fluid reservoir and overall just a general flush of your power steering system. So before we get into that, I want to do a couple announcements. Ever since getting back from SEMA, I've been burning the midnight oil trying to get the MOLLE panels all manufactured and ready to go. Speaking of that, if you're watching this video right now, those MOLLE panels are officially live for pre-order on the awesomoto.tv/shop store. So actually 1 week from today, which I'm filming this video on a Friday. So next Friday, those panels will ship out to you. And if you've been waiting to get your hands on one of those, act fast because they will sell out quick. So while we're on the topic of those toolkit MOLLE panels, it's actually time to do the drawing for the giveaway one that we announced at SEMA. I gave you guys an extra few weeks here to follow over on Instagram. So I did see quite a few of you come over to the Instagram side, but I know a ton of you probably still haven't actually gotten the message over that if you follow on Instagram, I'm going to do the drawing over there. It's just so much easier for me to reach out to people and get shipping and all of that sorted out through Instagram. So without further ado, let's see who the winner is. All right, congratulations, Drop Shot Rig. You are the winner of the first serial number 1 toolkit MOLLE panel, and I will be reaching out to you on Instagram to get the shipping information. So very excited to reach out to you and surprise you with that. You are the winner. So thank you very much for your support and being an Awesomoto subscriber. This is not the last of the giveaways for the Awesomoto channel. I have planned a couple more giveaways in early 2025. So keep an eye out on the Instagram and also here on the YouTube channel for other product giveaways. All right, so let's get into the vlog. This is going to be a very simple one. We have our Cardone reservoir. This is actually something that you can find on Amazon. I think a lot of you can probably understand that these power steering fluid reservoirs get stained and nasty, and sometimes it's hard to read the level on them. And in general, I just felt like it was nice to, while I'm getting in there and doing the power steering fluid flush, that I would also just replace this reservoir to freshen up the engine bay and make it look a little less old. And so I'll put the links to this down below. It's on Amazon, and this is one that's a reputable aftermarket replacement. And it also comes with a replacement bracket, so that's awesome too. And it actually has all the nice gaskets in here for eliminating the vibration that would come up through otherwise if it was direct metal to metal. So that is the rubber feet that are on the bottom there. So looks exactly like the OEM one. Feels very good. Yeah, looks great. So this will be nice clean up for the engine bay, but also much needed power steering flush. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a super easy video, so let's just get into the details here and I'll show you how to flush the fluid and also replace this reservoir. So another thing I should probably mention is the GX470 takes automatic transmission fluid for the power steering fluid actually, which is something that if you read on the GXR Facebook groups, a lot of people use this Valvoline synthetic max life. So I went ahead and grabbed a huge container of this. This is definitely a lot more than you need, but if you want some extra on standby, you could probably get away with the smaller container, but I just chose to go with this so I'm not making 2 trips to the store. All right, so let's just kind of get up under here and show you my situation. I know everybody's vehicles have been through different environments, so may or may not have the same condition power steering reservoir as me, but this thing is nasty. It's all stained up, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little refresh to have that. There's really just 2 hose fittings on the side here towards the engine, and a couple of probably 12-ish, 14-ish millimeter bolts holding it in. So 3 of those and that'll be off. This actually is filled with fluid. It's probably real nasty because I haven't changed this power steering fluid in the ownership of this vehicle, and I've had it now for about 4 years, and I've put about 85,000 miles on it since buying it, so it's probably overdue. I have no idea if the first owner did it in the lifetime of this vehicle, so 225 or 220,000 miles that I'm at, it's definitely due. I have the Goliath off-road armored bumper, so for me it's a lot more accessible up under here, but the area we want to get to is there's this hard line here, which is right by your front frame mounts, and then before changing out the reservoir, I want to drain the fluid out of the reservoir to a point where I can take it out and not just make a huge mess everywhere. So I'm gonna undo this hose clamp here, pull this down, and we'll do some lock to lock wheel turns, and it'll just, you know, push all that fluid out of here. And so once we purge that enough, we will change that top reservoir, fill it back up, and keep repeating that purge process by turning the wheel until we get clean fluid coming out of this line. So let's just get started with that. Like I said, super easy job to do, so I highly recommend, as just a general maintenance thing if you haven't done this in a while, to just clean out your power steering system. Put our drip pan up under here. Alright, so grab some pliers, and I'm just going to go in there and undo this hose clamp and pull that hose out from under here. Hopefully you can see this. And just slide that hose up and out, and you can see, hopefully you can see, that is just draining out of there, but it's probably gonna need some assistance, and by assistance I mean we're gonna have to go do some turning of the wheel to get it to push that fluid out. So I'll just start with that. I'm gonna go check the reservoir to see if that has come down any. Oh yeah, the reservoir is now empty, but just for the heck of it, I'm gonna turn the wheel just a little bit, see if we can get more out of there. I think when it turns on, the power steering pump is trying to pump fluid through, so that's why it's spraying everywhere. Alright, so let's see how close I was to guessing 12 millimeters. Oh, it's 12. Oh, heck yeah. I'm getting good at that. I'm impressed with myself. Seems like everything on the GX is 10, 12, or 14, so I guess that's kind of what makes it so much easier. Alright, so those 3 12 millimeter bolts, we'll hit those, and then I'm gonna just take these hose clamps here and just pinch them, pull them off. I'm just using a stupid long extension just to make life easier. Alright, and I'm just, same thing as the hose clamps down below, just using some pliers to compress the clamp and then slide it back. So I got one hose off, and it is painful because all the rubber has hardened. I'm using vice grips on the end of the hose, being very careful, but it's something that you need to apply pressure on the hose side. And I'm just twisting, actually I might be able to do this with my hands at this point. I'm twisting the tank itself, which I've taken off of the stand. Oh, I think it's coming out. Ooh. There it is. Oh my goodness, what a pain. Fought me way harder than I thought it was gonna. But the fluid that's been in the system has been so dirty and disgusting, so this was far overdue. Just as a side-by-side comparison, look at the difference there. That's crazy. Yeah, so hopefully these go on a lot easier than they came off, because that was painful. So throw this one off to the side. I'm just going to take off. There's some rubber protective covers on there. Alright, so I'm getting frustrated. I'm going to apply some of the power steering fluid as a lubricant on the end of the hose adapters for the tank, and also in the hose itself, to lubricate things and hopefully help things slide into place better. Definitely be cleaning stuff up here at the end, but for now just slopping it up. go. All right, so what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna fill this up to the cool above minimum with new ATF, which is power steering fluid here for the GX470. I just poured way too much in, but that's okay because the purpose of this is we're gonna fill this up and we're gonna purge the system more and let this flush out any more of that leftover power steering fluid that's in the system that may be dirty. Alright, so I don't know if you could tell, but the fluid coming out of here now is red, and the reservoir itself is now completely drained. With the vehicle on, it's definitely getting air in the system, so what we need to do is purge some of that air. So I'm going to go back under there, hook up this hose again, leave the lid to the reservoir off, and turn on the vehicle and let it just purge. And I'm going to do some lock to lock with the wheel and just get all of that air bled out of the system, and you should hear kind of some of the air bubbles coming out. Hose is back on. Put the clamp back down into place. Alright, so I filled the reservoir up just to about a little below the cold max, leaving that lid off again as a reminder so you can purge the air. We'll start it up and do some lock to locks. Alright, so it consumed almost all of that fluid, so you want to go and just add more. I'm going to do a couple more lock to locks and see if we can get all that out and stop that whining that you hear. There we go. That feels and sounds much better. So that feels so much better now. I was able to get all the air purged out. It took quite a while. Actually, it took me about 10 to 15 minutes of just doing a bunch of lock to locks to get all that air out. So definitely don't do what I did, and do not turn it on whenever you're purging the system. You could either jack up the vehicle or just, you're gonna have to turn it hard to try to get all that power steering fluid out of there. And so really what you want to do there is just make sure you don't turn it on, or you'll just have a bunch of air in the system. Turning it on definitely helped me turn the wheel more, and it was able to purge a lot more of that with the pump, so I was able to get the fluid out faster. But I made up for it on the back end by having to just leave that top reservoir cap off and do lock to lock and get all that air out of the system. Alright, well that does it for today's video. I know it was a very easy DIY maintenance type thing, but it's something I need to do because I'm about to do a big 3,000 mile road trip for winter break. I'm going to be going up to Missouri and also Pennsylvania. So if you see me on the highway, definitely flag me down, wave, beep, see me at a gas station or something, say hi. I'll be driving up through there, and definitely want to do some little maintenance things before that trip. As a reminder, GX470 toolkit molly panels are live right now for pre-order, so if you want one of those, go grab one of those at awesomoto.tv/shop. And as a sneak peek for the videos to come, we got a lot of awesome stuff coming up. I've been really planning some good videos. Just got the GX470 headlights in, which that's something that I've definitely alluded to in the past, and so it's taken me a little bit because I wanted to wait for those nice Black Friday sales, and I was able to get those from Bell Lexus. Got OEM headlights, so we're going to do a full headlight build on those, and we're going to replace these old cracked and yellowing ones, so we'll have a nice LED halo and some other nice goodies to add to that. The next video I'm going to film tomorrow, so look out for that. It's going to be coming out here very soon. We're going to be doing a hood wrap on the GX470. We got some tire videos coming up and some other good stuff. We're going to be working with Goliath Off-Road to add another Goliath addition to the GX470. So tons of really good stuff coming up. Very excited. I should also probably note that I'm working on designing another product for the GX470. Very excited to announce that. That is actually getting closer to being done than I thought it would be by this time of the year. So hopefully by January I'll be able to announce that for sale as well. So if you have any questions about today's video, I know it was straightforward, but if you do have questions, leave a comment down below and let me know what questions you have. Stick around for the next few vlogs coming up. We're going to be doing a few more before Christmas, and I'm very excited to show you the next few additions to the GX470. So stay tuned. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.